Okay, so just tell me about your job. How did you get started?
Well, Ralph Husky was the one that got me started in the tobacco business.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked for him for 14 years,
Hey, Dad. Hey.
and he set me up in the business and got me started, and I just went there and picked up jobs here and there until I got going.
How old? You were young, though. You were like 17, weren't you?
No, not when I started in the business. I was so I've been in business 30 years, so 34 years anymore. 34 years, so.
35. You worked for Dave 34.
Yeah, that's right. I worked for David 34 years doing digging graves. That was supposed to be a part-time job I started with, but it wound up being a full-time job towards the last. That was all I was doing, just digging graves for them. But the rest of it, I just done jobs here and there for different plumbing contractors. I had 7 plumbing contractors at one time I dug for and run. Well, some of them I did the work for, and some I just dug. I didn't do any sewer and water line work for them. I just dug them.
So what's changed
Yeah,
over the years about digging graves? Because I know it used to be all by hand, right?
yeah. Well, I've been digging graves 34 years, so I started for a year after I went in business for myself. And like I said, David had a man that had a heart attack, and he asked me to help him out, get him out of jam. So 34 years later, I was still helping him.
Let him get out of that jam.
Yeah.
You were the solution.
Well, like I said, it finally got to where, well, then I give up the work across the road towards the last 5, 6 years. I didn't work across the road at all. I just dug graves, that's all I did. And more or less, that was as much as I wanted to do towards the last. But after I turned 65, I didn't do a whole lot of the other work, no how. Because it was too much work for me. I couldn't handle all of it. Because I did everything by myself until the last 2 years of grave digging, 3 years of grave digging. I had to have a man help me because I had my leg operated on, then I couldn't go up down the ladder and get in there with the hole very good. So I got a boy to help me a little bit when I was digging graves then. But that's,
So has it changed at all? Like do you dig them deeper or wider?
no, just same thing. Been digging them, it was on the stone, same depth, same size. Yeah, unless you have oversized now. Once in a while you'd have oversized, but that was just once in a great while. Sometimes you go a year when you have one. Once in a while they'd have a big person, you'd have to bury and have oversized grave. But most all of them were standard. 4 foot deep and 8 feet long.
4 feet deep, 8 feet long.
42 inches wide. I got the measurements in my head.
So what are they?
Yeah,
So the measurements are, it's 42.
42 inches wide, width, and 8 feet long, and 4 foot deep. I always dug mine with 52 inches deep, but 4 foot is all they clean.
That's a big hole, I'm telling you.
And that's, the state chooses that?
Well, I don't know where the ruling come up on that from. I reckon there's something in there. Most of it is cemetery requirements, really. Most of your cemeteries want it that deep. So you can have enough dirt on top of it so grass will grow.
Yeah, and then Rosewell is it family owned? The cemetery right here, family owned?
Roseville. Moore.
Is it what?
Is it family owned or is it?
No, yeah, Dave.
Yeah, Dave
Well,
Brooks owns
3 different people owned it. Flip Hicks and Stratton and Brewster owned it at one time, but I don't know whether it's still like that or not.
Smith owned it one time.
Well, originally when they started, Smith was on Smith, Stratton, and Brewster. Then when he died, Hicks bought his part.
But it's family owned.
But
Yeah, because it's
Private.
run different if they're state run.
No, they're not state, no, it's not state.
So this one.
Not state or city, neither one. There's a lot of them in city running across the road.
Mhm.
A lot of them city are operating.
Yeah. So did you
Well,
ever?
you take even in Richmond, most of them is city operated.
So did you ever have any? I'm trying to think. I don't know. Do you have any interesting stories from a cemetery at all? Anything you can think of that sticks out? Like there's one. I've been going to this one cemetery up in Richmond called Rose Lawn Memory Gardens, and they bury like all denominations and all races and everything. That's when they started in the 50s doing that. And there's this guy that he did something really bad. He was a bad guy, and he ended up committing suicide. And when they buried him, it was like under duress from the priest and just all kinds of crazy stuff. And the grass won't grow on his plot. And there are ravens that come and they sit up at the bell tower right by him. And I've seen it, and I've talked to the guy that he wouldn't let me interview him, but the guy that does the graves and takes care of everything, the perpetual care and all that. He's resodded it twice since he's worked there in 4 years. Grass won't grow. Isn't that crazy?
I ain't never had that, we ain't never had that problem.
Yeah.
But nothing.
You
No.
can tell an old grave.
Yeah, you go into an older cemetery now. Some of them up in the first part where Ernest buried. If it gets real dry, you'll see the grass. You can see the grass dead right over top of the vault itself.
Even after
That's,
years and
that's
years.
the reason we try to put them down deep enough in the ground, because some of them, they hand dug some, a lot of them when they first started up there. And they didn't dig them over 36, 38 inches deep.
Oh, so they're only a couple feet down.
So they ain't got over that much dirt on top. And it gets real dry. You can tell every one of them is. You walk right through the cemetery and
And
see.
then if you don't have a certain amount of dirt, because they drive over them now with big tractors and stuff, and they could do some damage to the
Yeah.
vault and stuff in there. David is a stickler anyway. He's a little bit strict up there.
Did you ever do any reinterments?
Oh yeah, we took up several and moved them.
Were they here?
Yeah, we moved them to Roseville. Well, I moved one from Richmond, but we didn't dig that up. We just went up and picked it up. But I can't think of the name of the cemetery in Richmond now. I went and got that one. But we dug them up just now where the dump is down on, by the food line. We dug up 12 up there and put them up in Roseville when they were getting ready to do that, because they wanted the land and
Tell her
Waste Management paid for it, all of it.
Tell her what some you moved had to dig up and it was nothing but a rag or something, but it
Yeah.
had to be moved.
Yeah, we dug some of in a real old cemetery like down in Killies and down that area by Union. That we dug them up and all you find maybe a little bit of clothes and a button or two or something. That's all you find.
So were they old?
Yeah, they was buried in wooden boxes back then.
Oh, so it was a really old.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really old. Yeah. I don't know why. The reason was they moved them really, because it was in the cemetery. I mean, it wasn't like it was out in the field or somebody. It was in the cemetery, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
Some people, they just get something in their mind, they want to do it, and they go do it. But you gotta go through very smart to get in there and moved, and you gotta go to get it approved by the state before you can dig them up and move them. Of course, the
You
film home,
want something to drink, help yourself.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
the film home does that. I mean, I know they have where with none of that stuff. When he called me, I knew he had it all straight. We just go dig it up and move it.
Yeah, just go pick it up and.
But
So are
that's
they
what-
marked in Roseville?
Yeah, yeah. It's a black family. I can't think of the name right now. I can put my hand on it, but it was all black. But most of all the black people in that cemetery up there is in two new sections of it. There's none in the none over there. My village buried. There's none over there, and I think there's one up on that hump behind Ernie with it. Hump is there behind him. There's one black in there that I know of. That's all I know is up there.
Why
And
do you
that's
think
like-
that
But in the news section, David said you couldn't stop them because, you know, the blacks got the rights now. They want to buy lots, you got to sell to them what you want to now. So that's how come that started. But we've got quite a few blacks up at Bird up at different places. Well, Catlett was down here beside 17 used to do haul dirt and do. We buried his son up there first. He got killed in service, and then we buried him a bit later. But a lot of it ain't really no whole lot to it. I mean, it's tedious work to a point because you got to be so careful not to mess up nothing in digging and going over top of your stone and them foot marks and stuff. But it's at first I was kind of leery of it, but after a year, so I got to go out and pay no mind going to your backyard and digging. Really, just as watch what you're running over. Not to tear up nothing, but you got to do that in the yards too now.
you have to do what now?
I said you have to be careful where you was digging at, not to dig up nothing else, not to tear up nothing. But I was pretty fortunate. I reckon I dug that long, never hurt nothing, never broke a stone or nothing.
That's really good.
So I guess I was pretty fortunate.
So tell me, so you retired but you couldn't get the license? What was
Commercial driver's license. See, I keep a commercial license. I got to pull that tractor up down the road. And you have to take a medal. I have to have a physical every year. If you turn 65, you got to have it every year. I used to have it 2 years before that. And I ain't got no feeling in my hands like I should. And of course, having that stroke didn't help it none. They didn't want to really have it. No,
Yeah.
so.
Well, you look good.
Well, I feel fairly good. I just can't do much. As soon as I go, I think I was sitting here, I feel like I can do anything else in my life. Till I get up and go get ready to do it, and then I'm out before I get started.
Yes.
So I don't know.
So who's doing it now? Who's digging?
The vault company's digging them.
The vault company?
Yeah, out of Norfolk is digging them.
So they send somebody over?
Yeah, well, see, they come and bring the vaults and set the grave up at the house, so they,
So I thought you had somebody that was helping you.
yeah, I had a boy helping me just dig graves, though. We just, all me and him did, was opening and closing them is what they called it. Not digging, opening and closing is what they call it. And I had him help me, because like I said, I couldn't get down in the hole very good. Well, Emma was caused that because she didn't want me to go up down the ladder with my leg. I had so much trouble getting them down there. So that's the reason I got him to help me. I had one of David's men help me for a little while. Then I got this poor friend of mine to help me. He didn't have nothing to do either. He works in the river clamming, and half time he didn't do nothing. So we gave him a little extra money too and helped me a whole lot. But
So do you think that the funerals are like changing at all? Because I feel like I see more cremations.
oh yeah, it's good. Everything's going to cremation. They cut my grave digging near about half before I give it up.
So when did that start happening, you think? Like when did you really notice it?
Well, I'd say about 5 years ago, roughly. About 5 years ago.
There's a lot more. So when they do the cremations here, how does that work?
Well, see, I don't have nothing to do with the cremations. They do all that work because they'll dig their own hole. Because you dig in with post hole diggers and shovels. I did it when they first started because he'd have one here and one there, not very often. But I forgot the way he was having. Right now, sometimes he often didn't have 2 a day of cremation. But 2/3 what he do now, well, maybe not 2/3, over half what he do is cremation.
Yeah, that's what I think it's starting it's really starting to shift. It's one of the big reasons I want to keep doing this project, because I think funeral homes are going away. I think
Well,
they're
you
gonna
know, when
change.
I thought got into it, I said, well, this is jobs that I'll know how to work with because there's always be a plenty of work because people gonna be dying all the time. But towards the last, it was getting well. Sometimes I'd go a week, 10 days when Dick was great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So how often would you normally?
Well, back years ago, I'd dig at least 4 or 5 weeks. I'd dig close to 100 graves a year.
Wow. And that's just for around here?
Yeah, just for that one funeral home. I didn't dig for them. Once in a while I dig one, it went in Roseville or something. I dug all of them in Roseville for a long time. And that was the only time I dug well.
It's a little tripod that's
Oh.
You think?
You see what she's got?
Uh-huh.
A new car?
Grammy gave me that.
Did she?
Uh-huh.
Tell her I want one.
Okay, I
What,
will say
what
it.
did I tell you the other day when we was over
I
there?
know.
I tell you, I bet you if she needed one, she'd get a new one. I knew
Mhm.
where it come from, too.
Well, I said she should get. I thought she kept asking me questions about cars. You know, what kind of car do you like? You know, what do you think about this one? What do you think about that one? I was telling her. I was thinking she was asking me for her because she was gonna get a new car, and then I came down to get. I thought I was getting work done on my old car. Dad was like, "Yo, bring it to the Toyota place," and then we go and we went into the room where you sign stuff, and I was like, "This is weird." And he said, "Surprise, you're getting a car." And I was like, "Oh my god, I had no idea."
Merry Christmas, happy birthday, you know.
Yeah, right. And she said she wanted to make sure it was in between all that. It was just because. It was like, what the hell?
Because she loves you.
That's right.
That's why.
Like a Grammy.
Mariner says she's a good friend to me. Yeah.
I was surprised she got rid of Ernest's car, though.
Mhm.
Well, she should get her a small car.
That's what I said. She should get a new car, whatever car she wants.
She's got that old big clunker and
Well, she likes to have a big clunk like
I know.
that.
Mhm. She likes it. So.
she's got a brand new old car because it's very low mileage for a car that age.
Well,
you
both
know.
of them cars was low mileage,
Yeah.
real low mileage.
Ernest more so than hers,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, his almost still smelled like a new car.
Yeah, yeah.
It was crazy. He didn't drive it too much. They didn't really. They would try to get it out once every couple weeks to make sure it was running.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for me. I don't know if you want.
So what are you interested in finding out? I mean,
Well, I think that it's more of like a documentation, I think.
Oh.
Because I've noticed, we were just talking about it, how everybody's kind of going to cremation and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
now, and all the funeral homes look old, you know what I mean? Like all the furniture's really old, and it's just a very different, like the people, my dad's generation and I would start dying, I feel like it's going to be completely different and changing, and then you guys being so close to the family, and then I'm the youngest, so I've seen so many people pass and
Oh, yeah.
experienced it over and over that I'm just really interested in it and how it's.
In a few more years, I don't think there's going to be nothing but cremation, so I don't really think it'll be in there.
we're going to be cremated.
Did you already have it set up?
Oh, well, with our children, not the funeral home, but our children know that's what we want.
Okay. And what? So I don't know how old you guys are.
Well, he'd soon be 78. I'm 72.
Okay. Yeah. So like most people your age are getting traditionally buried
Yeah.
still, but that's interesting that you guys. Why do you guys want to be cremated?
Well, I per se don't, but he does. So
You know
whatever
what?
he
You know
wants.
what I think it is? Waste of money.
Me too.
Waste of money.
I don't.
That's my personal opinion of it. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. All that money is, what good is it? I mean, you're gone. It ain't gonna help nobody. I'd rather save that money and give it to my children or somebody else to help them than just give it to the undertaker, as you call it.
Yeah, but the more I do this project, because that's kind of how I feel too. But the more I do this project, I realize everybody grieves differently.
Yeah.
And if some people that kind of ceremony of doing